Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here. How does that make you feel that the IRS is now promoting that they're not going to have any home seizures or any unexpected visitations at your place of business or work or home? Wow, that should make you feel so nice and comfortable. And I had to look it up. And yes, the New York Times, it's so funny because they keep on referring to Republicans. The Republicans think that there's 87,000 agents that are armed and they're all going to visit your home. The Republicans believe that literally they're going to start shooting at us. If that's a rumor, then why even mention it? Like, why are you mentioning it? Of course. And who is Republican? Like, just because we vote Republican doesn't mean we're Republican. We are conservatives. And there's no political party to that. Some may be libertarians, some may be Democrats posing as Democrats and voting conservative. Some may register as Republicans. And this is why they keep missing the mark. They keep having this cognitive belief or this preset mindset that we're supposed to think like how they want us to think. They keep referring to us as Republicans. Have you not seen all the rhino news lately? Have you not seen all the sellouts that's been happening? Like, why do we want to associate with that? So yeah, man, this whole IRS visiting your home, it is scary. It is true that they had armed agents. I don't know why they keep on saying that that's not true. The 87,000 people are for people that are not going, the people that are trying to file their confession form on a 1099. They're going after people that are filing. They're not going after people that are not filing. I'm not suggesting you should not file. I'm just letting you know the statistics show that the audits and the seizures are for people that are filing that they think are doing wrong. They're not going to send these crazy agents to people that are not filing, as backwards as that sounds. Again, I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not an attorney. I am a financial advisor. This is used for educational purposes only. This is not investment or tax advice in this podcast. So I just want to make that clear that I'm not making recommendations on this show, any stock tips or any securities tips. This is simply just for educational purposes only, information and educational purposes only. So we spoke in our last podcast that Social Security is projected to die by 2033. It was 2034. On the SSA website, it says 2037. And there's 10,000 baby boomers retiring every day for the next 15 to 20 years. Pretty monumental because all this IRA money is going to get shifted. All this non-spousal IRA money is going to get shifted. There's a massive handoff in wealth, and the government has no other choice but to increase your payroll taxes, delay when you can access Social Security, and more importantly, they want to force this agenda, this taxation agenda. Remember, I said a long time ago, I'm not worried about a crashing dollar. I'm not even worried about the BRICS. I'm not really concerned about it because if America doesn't make it, where else are you going to go? You want to go to China? If their dollar outbeats our dollar, no, you're not. You're not going to do it. Maybe they try to infiltrate us. That ain't going to happen. We are armed for a reason, guys. So the way that the government will try to take your money is through taxation. I've said this day in and day out since day one from the jump, that they're going to just simply overtax you because there's so much qualified dollars in the market right now. Over $34 trillion is, I believe, what I read last time. $34 trillion in IRAs and 401ks. The government feels that since you never pay taxes on it, the government feels like it's theirs. and they're going to hire agents. They're going to impose whatever technology. So I'm reading at this liberal media New York Times article, and it says, we're taking a fresh look at how the IRS operates to better serve taxpayers and the nation, and making this change a common sense step. Daniel Werfer from the IRS commissioner said in a statement, changing this long-standing procedure will increase confidence in our taxation administration work and improve overall safety for taxpayers and IRS employees. So they're pulling back their 10-year plan. It's taken them 10 years, multi-billion-dollar project known as the Modernization Project upgrade. Is supposed to upgrade the Modernization Project. The IRS Modernization Project is supposed to upgrade the technology. Furthermore, it says the transformation that will happen. And see if I can find it. Sorry, guys. I was just reading this because it was just right off the press. So, yeah, Mr. Werfel said that in-person visits will generally use to collect tax debts of more than $100,000 and were employed to demonstrate that the agency was closely tracking the cases of the taxpayers. Under the new system, taxpayers who ignore written correspondence from the IRS could eventually face penalties or liens on their property. So it just goes on and talks about 2,000 unarmed revenue officers who usually make unannounced visits to discuss owed and missing returns. Sometimes they make visits without warning if they think the business could be fallen behind or withheld employment taxes on to collect a debt. So, yes, there are agents that randomly pop up that are not armed. Okay, we get it. We get it, IRS. We get it. We get it that you want to impose your will. We get that the country is insolvent. We get that, in my opinion, that you're not even part of the Constitution. It's not even, it's almost criminal. Like, yeah, it's almost even criminal. However, as law-abiding citizens, which we are, we're not conformists, there's ways we can plan around this, guys, to help protect you. And what you need to know is that we just need to know the rules of the game. The wealthy know the rules of the game. They take responsibility and they're proactive because they understand that as soon as you play the victim card and you don't take responsibility, that there's hurt, there's pain, there's depression, there's all these problems that happen when you don't take responsibility. So with this podcast, we're simply just promoting, let's plan. Let's figure this out together. So Social Security, like I said, is going to be dead by 2033. The IRS, in my opinion, is going to try to figure out ways to tax the heck out of you. They're going to tax and tax and tax. And unfortunately, the payroll taxation has to go up in order for our country to be solvent. Right now, it's at 12.4. I believe it's going to go to close to 15%, maybe even higher. So small business owners, W-2 employees, if you're paying into the Social Security system, look for the next election or even the next few months on bills and taxations. And when Congress decides to finally get their act together and meet on things that actually matter, you're going to see payroll taxes go up. So the IRS, with this FedNow program, the FedNow program now having participating banks, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Chase, Bank of America. I feel in my opinion that there's going to be like 4 or 5 oligarch banks, an oligopoly of banks, just a good core that the IRS has a temperature gauge that they're 100% transparent with the government. They're 100% lenient with the government. We all should be transparent, but they are lenient and they're proactive in that, and they're tracing, and it just allows for no privacy. That's the big thing, is that the privacy is the issue here. And why this is such a big deal is because they already tried to go after your banks. Do you guys remember right after COVID, or as soon as Biden got in, he was trying to trace any deposits over $10,000, any withdrawals after 10,000. Then it went to like 1,000, and there was this whole movement of privacy in our banking, the freedom of our own financial freedoms. Like, they have a knack to understand your transactions. Why? Because they want to control us. They blame it on gun control. They blame it on drugs. They blame it on pornography. They blame it on whatever they want to blame it. The fact of the matter is they want you to turn your guns and watch your bank account. That's what they want to do. Prove me wrong. Tell me wrong. I mean, that's what it seems like. I mean, look at all the evidence, right? They come after our bank accounts. Crypto banks now have to basically, you have to do a KYC, which is not a big deal, but now there's taxation on crypto when there wasn't before. And so Coinbase, I wouldn't recommend Binance. They got some big issues, but all these bigger giant crypto banks require a driver's license, a social security number, an address, so they can report it to the IRS and so that you can be taxed. Never back in the day when you opened up a crypto account, you had to do any of that stuff. It was decentralized. It was never taxed. They didn't know how to tax it. So having that ability to understand that the IRS, they're not your friends, no matter how they make it out to be. And they can say, oh, we're doing it for the safety of our employees. Yeah. If you come in with guns and we don't know who you are, you're going to have to dodge some 5.56 or 2.23s or some 45s rounds because you're invading our property. We don't know who you are. Unwelcome guest. Unwelcome guest. We saw a little bit of that of this whole vaccine movement. This bioweapon jab. No one wants to be forced doing that. This is not Australia. This is not Canada or Argentina, where they're just forcing people and ripping people out of their homes, ripping children out of their homes because the parents don't want to get vaccinated. I mean, this is the ultimate evil martial law that we all fear could happen. And I'm here to tell you that having this agenda is not a good thing. I really believe that there will be a social credit score. I really believe that they're going to use a blockchain. They're going to use several different things to try to basically to track us and trace us. And this will go into our social credit score system. I don't know what that looks like, but that's what they're doing in other countries. And it just doesn't fit our Constitution. It doesn't fit the American spirit. It just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. I mean, we cannot be subject to a totalitarian government which promotes communism. So I have these dates, and if you can show the graphic, the infographic, 1945, 94%, 1963, 91%, 1969, 77%, and today, 37%. Wait a minute. I have one question. What do these numbers represent? What do these numbers represent? 45, 94%, 63, 91%, 69, 77%, and today, 37%. I'll wait a second. (1945) 94%. You could have been taxed as high as 94%. 1963, you could have been taxed 91%. 1969, you could have been taxed as high as 77%. And today, the highest marginal tax bracket is 37%. What's interesting about these numbers is that 45, 63, and 69, what do those years have in common? Our country was at war. Our country was at war. What's been happening with stupid face in the office right now? The threat of what? The threat of war. So our history tells us that when we are at war, our taxes just skyrocket. Now, granted, in order to get a 94%, 91, a 77% marginal tax bracket, you had to make a gazillion dollars. But the fact of the matter is that they were all-time high. With Social Security running out in 10 years, with the dollar being intimidated by the BRICS and possibly crashing, there's a need for precious metals. Obviously, people want to go to that, but that's not really the solution here. We saw precious metals go down 20% last year, and the market rallied up. Gold is only up 6%, and the market's up about 14% year to date. If you're in big tech, it's up, 42%. I mean, it shot back up. So what is the solution? Well, the fact of the matter is that taxes are going up, guys, and we have all of our money in 401ks and IRAs. It is impeccable that it's imperative that you understand that today the taxes now are going to be cheaper than tomorrow. So have an open mind when it comes to that. There is some strategies that we can do. I'm working on a tax calculator that you can go on our website and you could see how much you basically have to pay in order to convert your money to a tax-free bucket, such as a Roth IRA or a tax-free bucket. So that is coming up with the next week or two. I promise you that. And I think will be very, very valuable. So I'll have a website there. I don't know what I'm going to call the website, but it's going to be great. You can put your information on there and book an appointment right there and just have a discussion. It's not that hard. But yeah, 1941, 1943, and 1969, those dates, those were literally the tax brackets at that time. Like, can you imagine? Could you imagine 1963 paying 91% taxes? That is unheard of. So looking at some stuff here real quick. So yeah, it's unheard of. More importantly, guys, like I am really concerned about the AI taking over. The governments are using AI. Everybody's using AI. Even the kids are using AI to do their homework. AI is just everywhere. It's been around for over a decade now. I just think now it's becoming more public and easily accessible. Artificial intelligence has been used for decades. The spaghetti models by meteorologists, the military has been having it probably for close to 100 years now. They've had the internet since the 50s, the military. So AI has been around for a long time. The problem is that when it comes to day trading and institutional trading and just trading of your funds, we don't have floor traders anymore. So the New York Stock Exchange, you don't have guys going in there with the funny look at jackets and trying to basically buy and sell. There's just no rush because everything is electronic. You have trading floors like the Barclays Trading Floor Index. You have everything electronic. The NASDAQ has always been electronic. The NASDAQ stands for, I believe, I'm going off the cuff here, National Association of Securities Dealer Automated Quotations. So I believe that's what it is. You can fact check it if you want. But the whole thing is electronic. Okay. The whole thing is electronic. So I don't know, man. Like I can't say without a doubt this is going to happen. I'm just giving you my opinion of the evidence that it's shaping up. I've been right on everything that I predicted on this podcast, for, since COVID. Like we've been talking about the vaccines, the early Christmas shopping because of the supply chain issues, the interest rate hikes, the bank runs, everything that we've said has been on point. And now what I'm saying is I really, really discern that there's going to be a social credit score like system. There's going to be something there that is going to try to track and trace you with the QR coding, with the blockchain, retina display. There's a lot of technology out right now that is pretty scary. So just be very careful and cautious. This is why I believe in PIAs, private insured accounts. As part of the green money family, if you have a retirement, the way to protect yourself is having principal protection, an account that actually can grow with zero cost to very little cost. And what it does, it allows the insurance company to be on the same side as you, almost like a fiduciary, where they only make money when you collect interest. And so when you have this environment, it creates, or this atmosphere, it creates a successful atmosphere, because the insurance company takes all the losses. As long as you're okay with having access to a portion of your money every single year, you'll have the ability to compound and grow and grow and grow. So what the wealthy do basically is they allow these type of accounts to grow into the millions if you have time. And they simply just take their 5-6% out every single year and live off the interest. So to give you some numbers, basically $100,000 on a 40-year-old retiring at age 65 is roughly about $5.2 million. The longer you wait, the more you make. And then so on $5 million at 5%, you're basically pulling $250,000 in income for the rest of your life. And when you pass, and you do that for the next 20, 30 years, when you pass, those millions go to your beneficiaries, your loved ones. If you're 52 years old with $300,000, the projections show in 15 years that it will be roughly $2.6 million with a private insured account that has compounding interest. Now these indices are very, very smart. They use AI. They use AI to get you in and out of the index on a day-to-day basis. So you no longer have to worry about stock picking and worrying about things when you have a whole team of professionals that are watching the index, and then you get to ride their coattails. So this is how the successful, this is how the wealthy do it when they have private money managers, private indices with a private insurance company that has ability to grow your assets, have lower fees, no standard deviation, and literally make the upside. It's too hard to fail. Like, you have a guarantee on your principal. Some private insured accounts guarantee an income. If you're more concerned about having a monthly paycheck, there are programs for that. There's programs if you just want a guaranteed rate of return. Right now, the average is 5 to 5.75% with interest rates hiking. You can get that guarantee all day, every day in most states. The other thing is that most states are not like most states. The states have control of which guarantees they want in your state. And guess who has some of the worst guarantees, some of the worst products? You guessed it. Diaper Face New York, Missouri, believe it or not, Tennessee, those states, Minnesota, Wisconsin, those states are very, very difficult to have these type of products because your state has come out and said, we don't want these safe products. And if they are safe, they have to have these certain rules. So it's pretty interesting. You know, you say, oh yeah, it's a red state. It's a red state. It's a swing state. Well, let's see what kind of financial products are available. And I'll let you know. I'll let you know if they're a blue or red state. The blue states make it difficult to keep your money safe. The red states have an open architecture of a plethora of options. I don't know why it's like that. Maybe it's for you to think. Is there some politics involved at a state level? That's for you to think about. And I'm not here to speculate. I can only give you my opinion, right? So I believe there's a lot more to that. And this is why I want to come out with a documentary called, I don't want to tell you the name of the documentary. I'm working with Lauren and her team, and Stu's team, to come out with a potential documentary exposing all this stuff. But I'll save that for another podcast and for the documentary. But what I'm telling you guys is get you a private insured account. These accounts will give you the ability to protect your principal, grow your assets long term. You don't have to worry about bank failures. You don't have to worry about takeovers that affect you. You don't have to worry about takeovers from woke companies. And you don't have to say the word, you probably will get your money. That is not cool. And it's not a conversation I would want to have with a client. I've had that conversation when a Bitcoin money manager stole $2.5 million of my client's assets. It's not a pretty conversation. So make sure that you have money set aside for safe money, for green money, because it's getting now, guys, where the IRS wants to overstep. They want to overstep. The government wants to overstep. And they want to overstep into your retirement. You got to protect it. And buying gold and silver is not the answer. I own gold and silver, but inside of an IRA is very dangerous in my opinion, because you're giving access to the government and now you're buying an asset that is extremely volatile. And there's no protection, by the way. There's no guarantee that if you make interest, those gains are locked in. You want things that can lock in your gains. That's how you make it. That's how you keep up with inflation. This is speculation. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's speculation. Do you want to speculate with your retirement? Well, that's between you and your risk tolerance. I just know that we got to be a steward of our funds and we got to do what's right. We have to have some common sense when it comes to these things. But yeah, that was just really, really appalling. The 1945, 94%, 1963, 91%, 1969, 77%. And today, the highest marginal tax bracket is 37%. But don't worry, the IRS is scaling back for their safety. Not your safety, but for their safety. I kid you not, man. This is actual news. So, hey, what's going to happen with Hunter Biden? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm like really want to know. Like, how is this kid protected? I mean, it's obvious the cocaine found in the crack house, the White House, who it belongs to. I mean, if Joe Biden does a line, the guy would like literally OD. Like, he would be dead just by being near it. He's so weak and nimble. All right. So wanted to thank my guys over at Vanish, vnsh.com/Cortez. If you haven't been carrying your gun, you probably were like me, because it just was uncomfortable. Like, I would wear my little, I carried a 380 1911 6-hour. Love that thing, P238. And the P238 is a beautiful gun. I still have it. And I wear it sometimes in my suit jacket. The problem is when I put it in my front pocket without a covering or a holster, it will bang against my knees sometimes if I'm wearing shorts and walking the dog. I think I told you guys that I wear it to walk my dog because I live in a natural preserve. You never know when there's a Florida panther that will attack you, or a bear or an alligator. So I literally have to have a gun on me because I have a little dog and I don't want him getting eaten up by alligator. But with this gun holster, I'm able to wear it and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't even feel like you're having it on. And it's universal. So if you have 15 guns like I do, plus and counting, you can literally wear it with any type of handheld pistol that you want. If you have a gun for the truck, a gun for the closet, a gun for your desk, a gun for the wife's car, a gun for your office, a gun for the office desk, a gun in the janitor closet, whatever. Doesn't matter. You have a gun holster that is going to be an amazing investment for you. You can get $50 off, and they do no hassle return. So try it out. If you don't like it, then just return it. No big deal. Also, I'm not a big fan of these woke companies that, that use Lysol and all these harsh chemicals. Like, we're breathing in, even like the Glade refresheners that you use in the home, apples and cinnamon or tropical mist or whatever the stuff is. There's garbage in there, guys, that we're breathing in that causes lung damage. So even from the Crystal Lights that you drink, from all the Downy beads that you probably use in your detergents, there's so much toxic chemicals by these Luciferian companies like Procter and Gamble. More than ever, you really need to have a non-toxic platform where you can buy your detergents, your deodorants, your shampoos, your conditioners, your protein bars, your air fresheners, things that your regular consumables, and go to switchfromproductsusa.com and you can get even clean beef, non-vaccinated, non-mRNA beef, dry ice shipped to your door. There's a plethora of actual 500 products. I love I haven't tried every single one of them, but I've tried pretty much all of them, other than one or two things. And I love them all. So give them a visit at switchfromproductsusa.com. Also, if you are interested in having a personalized retirement consultation, give us a call, 813-448-3446, or visit our website at cortezwm.com. We're going to be adding some new stuff, some new calculators, some new presentations and webinars and educational pieces so that when you're on the road and you don't have time to even call us, you can just click on a video and learn a thing or two. And if that interests you, then book an appointment online. You don't even need to speak to us. But if you do, someone will pick up the phone. And if not, we'll call you right back. But 813-448-3446, or visit us, our website at cortezwm.com. You can download our free guide at americafirstretirementplan.com as well. With that being said, guys, I'm out. I'm taking the kids out for a summer vacation this week. And I'm sure I'll be taking a lot of pictures. We're taking them to the beach. And I am out of here, guys. God bless you.